Kendall Scudder joins the conversation on this as the chair of the Democratic Party, state party in Texas. Welcome, Kendall. Just wanted to take a moment just so as people hear broad strokes about, the real members of Congress that might be affected and the areas that might be affected. Let's start with, where you think this is going. I mean, first of all, the Democrats in Texas have been out of, got out of Dodge, so to speak, in Illinois, New York, other places. They got to come back at some point. I mean, what's actually going to happen here, do you think?
Well, I think the Democrats are ready to do whatever it takes to make sure that the Trump administration isn't obfuscating accountability here. What they're trying to do is rig an election so that they aren't held accountable during the 26 midterms. And in doing that, they're going to be depriving minority groups opportunity for representation across the state. And so we're ready to be in Chicago and wherever we need to be as long as it takes, because we're not going to allow them to do this to the voters of Texas.
See, Senator Cornyn said today that he wants the FBI to get involved and go after the members of Congress that have crossed state lines. His comment in a representative democracy, we resolve our differences by debating and voting, not by running away. Once the FBI's assistant, FBI had no comment on this. Do you have a comment on it?
Well, we all want lots of things, and John Cornyn probably won't get his. There is no grounds for the FBI to get involved whenever legislators aren't attending votes. I mean, that's absolutely silly. They're just trying to drum up as much controversy here as they can to keep their base happy. The reality is this is the last tool that the Democrats in Texas have, and we're planning on using it. I'm sick and tired of the Democrats just taking punches and not throwing them too. This is an opportunity that we have to fight back, and we intend to do it.
There's a hypocrisy question that comes up. I would ask it of either party, and in this case it would be, well, here you are screaming and yelling about gerrymandering, and you run off to a state like Illinois that's already gerrymandered. What do you say to that charge?
Well, I think that Illinois could be more gerrymandered. And the issue with Illinois is not that they're depriving communities of color the opportunity to have representation. It's silly and kind of rich to hear these Republicans complain about people leaving when just not too long ago, Mike Johnson had all of the Republicans leave Washington so they wouldn't have to vote on releasing the Epstein files. So it's a procedural mechanism that's used regularly, and we're here to use it, and it's our legal right to do that as a party.
Now, I suppose you think Newsom, he was talking earlier, I watched part of his commentary in California, should up the ante. I mean, he could get more seats maybe for the Democrats. And then it's the question about, in the long term, is anybody serving the best interests of the voters, or are we just in a more politically polarized situation where each side goes to its individual corners? President Trump, by the way, spoke about that a little bit, the California part, in his comments about redistricting. Here's the president.
California is gerrymandered. We should have many more seats in Congress in California. It's all gerrymandered. And we have an opportunity in Texas to pick up 5 seats. We have a really good governor, and we have good people in Texas. And I won Texas. I got the highest vote in the history of Texas, as you probably know. And we are entitled to 5 more seats.
This is an interview that he called in on TV this morning. We'll talk more about that interview later. But on this issue, Kendall, what would you say? Because, again, you say, all right, they're doing it, I'm going to do it. And next thing you know, this started 30, 40 years ago, and then there's no seat that's up for grabs.
Well, let's be clear about what's happened. In 2001, there was a bill in front of Congress to create federal nonpartisan redistricting committees. Every Democrat voted in favor of it. Every Republican voted against it. If Democrats had their way, we would have fair districts across the entire country, okay? It's not just Democrats being expected to have fair maps while Republicans gerrymander their states to hell. I know that Democrats participate in gerrymandering. We would prefer to live in a country where there is not gerrymandering. However, we are refusing to exist in a situation where we are set to a certain standard and Republicans are held to a different one. If Republicans are going to start carving up their states to get more seats, then I think every blue state in this country should do the same thing, and they should start now.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.